Hello, my LGBT cuties, and welcome back to another episode of A Jaded Gay. I'm Rob Lovelace, and today we're talking about coming out later in life, what it can look like, why it happens for so many people, and the emotional complexity of finally living authentically after years of hiding who you are. Author and former educator Kevin O'Connor explains that many LGBTQ+ people, particularly those from older generations, grew up in environments where queerness was rarely acknowledged openly or was only discussed in negative or limiting ways. Without visibility, language, or support, many people learn to suppress their identity early on as a way to navigate family expectations, social pressure, and cultural norms. And because of that, coming out later in life is often not about delay or hesitation. It's about timing, safety, and self-understanding. There's no single timeline for realizing or embracing your identity. For some, that clarity comes in adolescence or early adulthood. For others, it can take decades of reflection, life experience, and unlearning internalized shame before they can fully name and accept who they are. What's also important in these stories is the role of visibility and support. Having access to even one affirming space, whether that be a friend, a partner, a therapist, or the LGBTQ+ community, can completely shift what feels possible. Because while self-discovery is deeply personal, it's also shaped by whether someone feels safe enough to be who they truly are. And even though we've seen progress in representation and acceptance, many people are still navigating this journey quietly, later in life, often carrying years of isolation or fear alongside them, which is why these conversations still matter. So if someone in your life is still figuring out who they are, lead with patience, make space for their process, and remember that authenticity doesn't have an expiration date. And if you want to learn more about coming out later in life and LGBTQ+ identity across generations, check out the podcast episode and blog post linked below. And remember, every day is all we have, so you got to make your own happiness